was a beautiful day, I remember, in September, one of the nicest days of the year.
Of course, it was a beautiful sunny morning.
It was a clear, sunny day, like really, really clear.
The air traffic controllers call that type of weather severe clarity.
And I was in a great mood, beautiful weather, went to the gym, got exercise, voted, all before 9 o'clock.
September 11th was a regular Tuesday morning.
I got to work a little bit later than usual.
I got up very early to go to the dentist.
I was on my way to school.
And it was the end of third period at a Andy Warhol Foundation.
I was sleeping, but my brother was watching TV.
So I was driving to work. I was on the subway.
I was sitting in the cockpit of a 737.
I was in class with 10th graders teaching world cultures.
And I was listening to a talk show in the car.
I was at the top of a mountain, just me and my friend working on this house.
At home in Fishers, doing some work.
Got to work at 8:30 in the morning. I was in surgery, working on a dog's knee.
I was running a class, teaching some new advisors.
At school, at home, about to leave for class.
I was home, and I was just getting ready to walk out the door to go to work.
I was actually driving and listening to the Howard Stern radio show.
And really was having a great day, and it seemed so perfect.
We were sitting around the table, like a bed and breakfast table, and CNN was on.
All of a sudden we heard a loud boom.
And I was coming out of the subway when I heard this explosion.
It just came out of nowhere at 600 miles an hour. It hit that building, and it was just a huge explosion.
I had a call from my close friend, said, go turn your TV on.
And all of a sudden I received the telephone call from my wife from her work.
Just having a normal day at work when the phone rang, and it was my fiance that called me.
And then I got this call from my friend who was in tears.
My next door neighbor called me.
I had the call from my cousin.
I got a phone call from my mother, and she had told me if I saw the news.
I picked up the telephone. My older daughter was on the other line.
From El Gardacha in Egypt, where she lives with her husband.
He was in quite a state. He was quite frantic, and he was knocking on the door.
He said, James, turn on your TV. Turn on your TV. I'm like, why? He said, just turn it on, quick.
My mom was in a little bit of a state, and she called me upstairs.
And said, did you hear what happened to the World Trade Center? And I said, what are you talking about?
A coworker came in and said, have you heard about the towers in New York? Something hit a tower in New York. I said, no.
An airplane hit the World Trade Center, and the television was on.
So I ran and quick turned my TV on, and there was the first building burning.
And then there were millions of pieces of material and airplane parts and window and glass, everything just flying.
I just had no idea what he was talking about.
And she said that the World Trade Towers had been, there was a terrorist attack.
Actually, she didn't know whether it was an attack or not. She just told me there was an accident. The plane flew into one of the World Trade.
And I was just like, really? Are you joking? I mean, that's not a good joke, you know?
I thought it was like a joke. I didn't think it really happened. The news people didn't know what was happening, or at least they didn't want to say. I think after Oklahoma, they didn't want to say right away it's terrorism, so they were thinking of, plane went into the first tower.
And I asked her, what kind of a plane? A small plane, a big plane? She said, I don't know.
And when I saw the video, I knew it was at least a 737.
And someone gave me a call from the next cube.
He said, it's on the news right now. I thought, well, I want to see what's going on.
And I ran immediately to the TV room, and I switched on the TV.
I went next door where a group of people had gathered around a television set. And
during the break, we went upstairs, and somebody had hooked up a television.
So we turned on the television, and it was like we walked into a horror movie.